What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Pastel Painting Friday. Today we are going to be using soft pastels. So I've got my soft pastels down here. The model for today, her name is Madeline. She's a model that I used to paint a lot a couple of years ago. So we've got a lot of references from her that we can use. So what I'm gonna do here is incorporate the hands, which is something I don't usually do with these paintings, but I thought I'd give it a go this time. So one hand is here, part of the other hand is gonna be over there, and the head is gonna fit over here. The hair is gonna be somewhere back there, so it's always a good idea to to have an idea of the big picture where everything is going to fit in the first couple seconds of your start. So you got a pretty good idea of where things are going to land. So welcome everyone. Sorry I had to miss yesterday. Wasn't feeling too well. Today I am doing much better. So it's just a change in temperature. Also kind of just upset stomach. Not gonna name the chain restaurant that I went to, but yeah, I'm doing better. Everything is much better today. Hey, Giselle, doing much better today. Saw your message. Sorry I wasn't pronouncing your name correctly, though. I mainly don't pronounce anyone's names correctly, to be honest. I I try to, but it's a lot of stuff to keep track of during a live stream. Mark L, welcome, welcome. Hey Lily, welcome to the stream. With soft pastels, it's actually easier to draw with. I'm just using the black pastel. So really quickly, we're gonna start getting into maths. And we got into it pretty quickly with the oil pastel as well. So the hand, I'm looking at the negative space there. So the hand's gonna fit about there. This gives me an idea of where everything will ultimately fit. Triangle for the shadow there. We're just gonna go ahead and mask the eye socket shape. Hey Randy. Yeah, sorry about all the internet stuff that happened earlier today. Yeah, literally like 15 minutes before the stream was a little too close to the stream because I was actually walking Hugo when I got your message. I'm working on the mixed media paper. Not ideal for the soft pastels. I think it works better with the oil pastels, but it'll do just fine for today. This paper is a little too smooth for the soft pastels. But like I said, we'll make it work. So you're going to have to layer quite a lot. And the soft pastels are a little easier to layer. So I'll go over kind of like the pros and cons of each one of these materials. Of course, today we're only going to use soft pastels. And it's going to be somewhere about there. So composition is pretty much already there. And shirt and the cast shadow back there. Now we're going to get some yellow ochre. I'm going to start to layer. And pretty much do the same exact thing with the oil pastels. These are Rembrandt brand soft pastels that we're using today. Just using big shapes. Giselle. So it's not Giselle, it's Giselle. Okay, that's I'm gonna have to Google that one. Pronounce secret model Giselle. It's too much for my brain to process. But yeah, sorry, I didn't know I was mispronouncing your name there. It's been a while. Here's where I'm starting to confuse myself. I'm actually looking for pastels that I don't have. It's because we worked for 2 weeks with the oil pastels. I just found myself looking for a color that's not in this set. Now with soft pastels, you don't really need as many pastels as you do with the oil pastels, because there's just more opportunity to mix. There's the dark shape for the edge of the face. Let's go in with this reddish color. Let's just layer. Yeah, it's gonna look a little spooky at first, but like I said, this is how we layer it. Look a little spooky at first. Light sensitivity is a little strong. I'm gonna change that for you. So you're trying some water-soluble oil pastels for wet and dry work. Just 12 missing. Uh-oh. So what's everybody up to today? Everyone excited for the weekend? Believe it or not, I actually kind of like the weekdays. I like my job. I like being able to do these streams for you. Yeah, so since I have a bunch of broken pieces of pastel, that's why I was going kind of zigzag. Oh, you got 12. We have 11 out of 12. Well, they got most of them. They did get most of them. Giving myself a lot of room here. A lot of room to make mistakes. Gotta say, I think that working with the other pastels has helped me with these because I'm not as I guess afraid to push down, put a little more force onto the mark making. Mark L, tomorrow you'll be using your new oil pastels. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I like I like both of them. I don't have a strong preference for oil pastel over soft or soft over oil pastel. It's good to explore different materials. Pastels in general are just really nice. Nice feel to them, very hands-on material, literally. Oh wow, Markel, I'm so happy that I've inspired you to try the different materials. That's great to hear. Overall, I've got to say that they have all helped me in every aspect of my fundamentals. There's things that you can do with the pastels that you can't do with oil paint, but then you realize the significance of things like planes. Of course, I've already known about the significance of planes basically all my life, but it trains you to think about planes in a different kind of way than you would with had you not used pastel. And the oil pastel kind of helped me learn that I can actually put a little more pressure, gently though. I can put more pressure on the pastel. things that you pick up over time with these different materials. Yeah, so with more pressure, you see I've actually covered that shape. And let's go for compositional sake. I like the red in the picture. This is kind of inspired from the Mary Cassatt soft pastel that we did. Kind of work with a whole composition. Obviously, I'm going to mix into this red. And I kind of like the idea of having a whole composition here. So whether we can get into this texture or not is not something I'm not sure. I can try to use I don't know, say like a brush. I'm not sure if that'll do anything. Well, if anything, it's lifting the charcoal or the see I called it charcoal. It's lifting the soft pastel. But it's actually kind of doing the job. It's covering the little pieces. And that works. A lot of the charcoal is falling down this way. Or pastel. I'm gonna keep calling it charcoal. The pastel is falling down this way. So it's not like it's getting all over the place. It's kind of falling in that direction. So it should be safe. It's not a cadmium I'm working with. Hey Jeanette, Rembrandt Pastel is a good brand for medium hardness. They don't crumple like the super soft ones. You can layer on top with the super. Oh, okay. Thanks for the advice there. Oh, thanks, Louise. Yeah, I'm feeling better today. Oh, and I don't know if I'll get in trouble with the Mona Lisa with soft pastels. To be honest, I kind of didn't write it down. I should have remembered. I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Louvre is gonna really care too much about, what I do, but we'll see in the future. And the pastel texture kind of works for the gray down here. Like I said, we're getting a whole composition down. Shirt that she's wearing. Cast shadow. Black and yellow make a green. Soft pastels are the softest pastel colors can possibly be. Good one. This Sennelier is super soft. Yeah, I haven't tried the Sennelier soft, only the oil pastel. So I don't know. We're gonna have to layer all this anyway, so let's just get it out the way. Yeah, so having something softer would kind of work better for this. I could see that. But you could work your way into the textures, the various different textures, whichever paper you're using. Luis wrote, why does black and yellow make green? That's something we'd have to ask the theoretical physicists. Why did the chicken cross the road? To become scrambled eggs, who knows? Um, well, black and yellow make green because black is sort of like a blue. And we know that blue and yellow make green. So that's why black and yellow makes a green. And it also depends if, you know, what kind of, if you're using like a brownish black, like a Mars black, it should still make a green though. U art paper, good brand of soft pastels. Oh, good. I haven't tried it. Yeah, I think that with pastel, this paper will work. This is the mixed media. You just have to layer at it, you know, a little bit heavier. Go at it a little bit heavier. Because see right there, I covered all of that, um, all of the little texture there. That's what I'm going for. This is not the phone call that I. Alright, so that's the phone ringing, so hold on a second here. Things are gonna go quiet for just a second. Yep, that was the landlord, so that's why I had to shut the audio off. So yeah, just they still got to do some work with the pipes that yeah, just basic maintenance stuff. But yeah, I had to turn the audio off for a second. Yeah, of course it's been more than a second. But I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, it's tough continuing these live streams. I gotta tell you, so many things happen. It's not like a pre-recorded video. I guess you could just work on it whenever you want. But we're here. We're still here. Thanks for staying. Those of you that are here, no worries, Louis. We will be here. Yeah, so that whole thing that happened before, yeah, I won't bore anyone with the context behind it. We'll just focus on soft pastels and covering these planes. See how I'm trying to cover with more pastel than I used to. The idea is more for the surface. See that? That's what I want. Get something as smooth as that. Thanks, K Art. We trying, we trying. Not too bad for 30 minutes in. Luis, why do I love portraits so much? I don't know. That's kind of, I was drawn to it as a kid, and it's pretty much what I've always enjoyed painting. It's something about, let me try to sound somewhat intelligent here. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years. I guess more if you count drawing as a child, but just the geometry of the human face, the challenge behind it, dare I say the psychology behind it. Something about it that distinguishes itself from all the other subjects. That's true. Bob Ross would be done by now. Yeah, oh, I get that. You know, to each their own. I mean, if your favorite is the landscape, then yeah, those definitely sell better than these. There we go, getting a flat surface. Of course, portrait is arguably the most difficult subject that you could work with. And I guess I'm just naturally drawn towards things that are difficult. Like learning pool, my teacher would always tell me I'm a glutton for pain. So I always like to practice on the tables with the smallest pockets, do the most difficult drills that I can. I just like things that are, you know, challenging. Oh, that's a good one, Luis. In some circles of art, I guess this could be called finished already. In some circles, but I prefer to do a tad bit more. Texture is the main thing that I'm trying to go after. That smooth texture. It just makes this that much more fun to be able to learn something new. You can see all the pastel kind of falling down. I didn't know that, Louis. I didn't know. Yeah, so a slightly different approach than before. Before I really built up kind of these light textures, but now I'm putting more pressure. Well, of course not there because I already have the flat texture that I wanted. That's simple. Because the driveway is when you drive into the parkway is when you sit there because it's always traffic. That's why there's always traffic in the parkway. That's why it's a parkway. At least in this area. Can't catch a break in this area. Oh, huh. Well, you never know. In the future, the AIs will review it for them. Now putting in the structure for the eyelid. Um, the answer is no. I don't think you can. Just ask the AI to do it. Everything is going to be referred to the AI. Refer to the AI. I bet you it just tricks the mind. Still looking at this negative shape here. There should be a gap here. Oh, I didn't know that either. So we got fun facts with Luis. Now, of course, my tendency to make the mouth too low is something that I'm kind of auto-correcting as I go. Obviously, I know that that needs to move up. Oh, yeah, be careful with that. We might get some controversial conversation. We gotta be careful with that. Some people are sensitive about that whole the flat world thing. I mean, some physicists aren't they saying that reality is an illusion? So with the soft pastels, you really can put more pressure to cover the texture of the paper at first, and it will help in the long run. As you can see, we're able to cover most of the texture of the paper, but it does make drawing a little more difficult. So you have to be very aware of your shapes. They would crack each other up. Oh man, that's funny. The eggs got egged. Oh man. Well, at least we know the comment section is definitely the chat's definitely alive today. Oh geez. Color Master. I'm using Rembrandt brand soft pastels. I think you can still see the Rembrandt logo on this one. Thanks, Color Master. I'm glad you like the videos. A little more pressure. So this is a new technique for me. Look at all the pressure that I put on that. How you would imagine that it would be ruined if I were to leave it that way. But I've learned even with watercolor, you can leave it that way and then reactivate it. Pastel, you can always reactivate it. It's always going to be, it's always going to be dry, right? So see that texture? That's what we wanted. Rembrandt, well, actually, he's a time traveler. So that's how he made soft pastels. He time traveled. Just like Vermeer time traveled and started making construction vehicles. If I could get any oil paint wood box set, for me, it would have to be probably Old Holland, and then I'd resell it. That's what I would do. I'd sell it for more. Yeah, we didn't know Vermeer was a time traveler. Traveled forward in time and started selling construction vehicles. Same as Rembrandt, he time traveled and started selling pastels. There's an old Holland limited edition set of 168 colors with only 4 left out of 100. It's 4,500. Yeah, nope, I am not getting that. If someone were to, gift it to me, I would take it and then resell it. So you see the hands are very minimal right now. Just shapes. Because I knew that things would change a lot as we pushed shapes around. So definitely a lot to ask for with this subject matter, but it's fun to do, fun to take a challenge on. Oh, it's only because it's only 4,500 because 100 were ever made. There's only 4 left. Definitely really good resale opportunity there. Good resale opportunity. More pressure. As you see there, we covered it. Never mind the drawing. Of course, it makes the drawing look weird. But covering that texture is what I wanted. Then I guess we can go a little lighter as we build the subtlety. You'd use the box for storage collection. I've never really had too many fancy collectibles myself. Though soon I will be selling collectibles, meaning paintings. Color Master, you use Winsor Newton artist oils, really only tried a few. Honestly, you could stick with Winsor Newton and Gamblin like forever. Winsor Newton and Gamblin, those are like the top two most reliable, affordable, everyday paints that you would need for oil painting. You don't really need all of the fancy stuff. It's just something to try, just for the sake of it. But when it comes down to like basically the bread and butter or whatever, Winsor Newton and Gamblin are the two, basically the top, like top ones to choose. They're not as expensive and they're pretty good quality. Only problem is they don't have certain colors like lead white or something like that, but you don't really need lead. If you buy them individually, it's 8 to 9,000. Oh my goodness. I think in my entire lifetime, I don't even think I've spent 8 to 9,000 on paints. I may have. I'm not aware. I should be aware of it, but I'm not. All right, 3 minutes till the break. The Rolls Royce of oil paint. No, they're really not. They've got great quality, but when it comes to like, if we're talking about like, so Rolls Royce as a car for me is like a luxury car that you have just to drive around and like basically tell the world how amazing you are, like how special you are. That's what I think of. Rolls Royce owners are probably like that. I think the Rolls Royce of oil paints are probably. I think you're right, actually. I take it back. I think you're right. It probably is Old Holland. I think you're right. Mark L, you can't stay till the end. No worries. Have a good night. Hey, Hansel dog. Yeah, for their unique colors. Thanks for those of you that have left a like on the stream. We are at 31. Thank you, thank you. I should have bought some of those cheaper soft pastels to cover that. Colors that I would really want to try in the future are probably more from the Rublev. But it has been an hour. And in terms of the face, we are a little behind schedule, but that's just because we've got hair, we've got the background, we've got the hands. There's a lot of stuff in this composition. So stay tuned as we continue to develop this painting. We will take a break in just a minute or so. Alrighty then, we can take a break now. So I will be back in just a couple minutes. Everyone that's been here before, you already know the drill. Anyone that may be new, you're gonna hopefully enjoy the video of my Shiba Inu, Hugo. Alright, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere unless you absolutely have to. I'll be right back. Alrighty then. Let's continue to work on this painting. Yeah, so in this portion of the video, I'm going to start to get into subtleties, but I feel like perhaps by the next break is when we'll be in the real subtleties. So subtle trivia is gonna be on hold until we get to that stage. There's a lot more work basically that has to be done with this. Especially if I want to cover all these little areas of unwanted texture. So in that sense, the soft is a little more difficult than the oil pastel. That's because of all these little bumps. Now you could use a rougher paper if you want to as well. If you want to eat up the pastel more, or potentially scrape your hand. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Got rid of those unwanted spots. Makes me wonder what's possible with the brush here. All right, Lewis is back. Yep, this brush actually works. Getting rid of all the unwanted texture. All right, excellent. Anytime there's a tilt um, with the head, the portrait gets that much more difficult. So be conscientious of angles, as they do make it a tad bit more difficult. If you're someone that relies heavily on a linear drawing, it will take you more time when there's a tilt. So hands down, probably the most challenging composition I think that we've done here thus far. I can't imagine doing this with watercolor. That would be tough. Although I have been doing a lot more practice with it. I figured out some things with it that have made it much easier. Of course, that's a relative term. So a little bit of drawing at a time here. The objective is now changing from before it was cover as much of the texture as possible to now draw with more specificity. I'll let you know once I'm ready to start the trivia. I will say after using all those colors the past 2 weeks with the oil pastel that I realized that it would definitely help to have more colors with the soft pastels as well. All right, just like clockwork, I knew that the mouth would have to move up. So let's do that. You can't be afraid to put more pressure. with these pastels. Paper can handle it. So this is all part of moving the mouth up, pushing that light there. So as I always say, keep it simple so that you can make changes. Yeah, definitely a couple more colors are going to be more useful for these soft pastels, such as a pink, a green, and maybe even a gray. Using a limited number of pastels like this is not ideal. I made it work in the beginning because I didn't want to buy more pastels, but it's time. And I got a bunch of those Senneliers because they were on sale for the oil pastels. You never want to do too much for the lips. They always end up having to change. No matter how well you draw, you almost always have to change something with the lips. This is why I said a pink would be really useful. This takes me a little bit of extra time to mix it. Okay, I think I'm finally past that point now where I had to put extra focus. Like I was saying, the tilt of the head, I already knew starting this more than the fact that there's hands here. Hands are actually not that difficult if you look at them as basically not like hands, just like big shapes that you can chop into. But when you have a tilt, it makes things, I wouldn't say the degree of tilt is a 1-to-1 ratio of challenge added to the painting. So whatever degree of tilt you're working with adds probably the same degree of challenge to the painting. And that's a big deal. So be mindful of that when you choose a tilt. I've done this. I've been, as I always say, I've been painting for 16 years, and in the future I'll be saying 17, 18, 19, 20, however long I live. Um, it's the experience that I have doing all this, all the mistakes that I've made are things that I'm trying to show you so you can learn from it. More importantly, I just hope that this is entertaining for you. Something you can play while you're in the kitchen or doing your homework. Maybe as when you're doing chores or something. I don't know. It's kind of like a podcast. Even though there are times where I don't talk that much. Okay. So we're in the clear. All the super difficult stuff I think is mostly taken care of. Now the rest is just down to subtlety. So we will begin, or not, I don't know. As soon as I start talking, we have a lot of people leaving. So before we start the trivia, let me know, do you want me to do the trivia today, or do you just want me to be quiet? As soon as I start talking, I saw about, I don't know, 5 people leave. Do you want me to do trivia today, or do you just want me to be quiet? I won't be offended. Either way. So we're definitely in the subtleties now. Yeah, we're about 35 minutes behind. Just because we have all this extra stuff in here. Okay, so drawing along for you. I get it, I get it. This is a good one to draw along with. This is a tough one. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most difficult, this would be about, I'd say an 8.5 difficulty. The easiest, if we're going on a 1 to scale from like 1 to 10, 10 being the most difficult, I'd say older models with beards are probably the easiest to paint. So whenever you see people do demos, that's usually the subject matter. And thank you for all the likes. We're at 39. 39 likes. That's pretty good. It's pretty good for a nobody like me. Whoops. All right, so I guess no subtlety trivia today. At least it seems. So let's see if we can make a decent painting for you. So now that I've got some more information for the hands, I'm gonna get back to the face and start to introduce some curvature into the forms. We're gonna basically do all the subtlety. Try to do a tad bit more though than usual. See if we can. I'm wishing I had a blue for that. Now with the sclera, be careful not to make it straight white. As you can see, that is not straight white. Now when it gets tough, try to practice words of affirmation. Tell yourself, I got this. I've drawn 1,000 eyes. I can draw this one. Or tell yourself, if you haven't drawn 1,000 eyes, tell yourself, this one will be my best yet. Practice telling yourself you're going to be a much better artist after today's session. After today's painting session, you've learned something magnificent. Not even something good, something magnificent. Man, I should keep my mouth shut. As soon as I talk, it's like an exodus. Okay, I won't say much then. Alrighty. What I'll probably do is get a second microphone, especially for pastel, and hold it, keep it close to the paper. I know that you can't hear the material, but I also know that ASMR is a thing. That was a huge thing, especially for Bob Ross. The ASMR. I don't even know what that stands for. Audio, sound, something. The microphone that will eventually attach closer to the paper will probably help those of you that use this as a sleeping aid. I've been told I've helped quite a few people go to sleep. People have also turned this into a game. Whenever I say a word like plane or something, they, I don't know, do jumping jacks or something. Who knows? Uh, good question. How can I get so detailed with these pieces of pastel? As you can see, this is not a sharp piece of pastel, so I'm kind of using the edge. Um, yeah, I'm just using the edge. I think of it kind of like a paintbrush, like the edge of the paper. Hey, Karen, you enjoy the paint and talk, no trivia. Okay, I hear you. The numbers don't lie here. More people are signing on when I don't talk. So yeah, I think I'll get a second microphone and keep it closer to the paper. Although I don't want to create an echo either, so that might take some work. Glad you enjoy the videos for the painting. Yeah, so with these thick pieces of pastel, in order to get these more subtle marks, I'm working in general with the sides of the pieces. But not only that, I'm working big picture to small picture, even with these tinier shapes. See here, just like I did on the edge of the nose there, or I mean edge of the face. Cover the paper, cut into it. Yeah, like that. So I created a flat shape there, but also used it to get an edge there for the nose. With portrait, you really you want to control the degree of perfectionism that you have. If you're too perfect with the portrait, you run into this dilemma that my one of my teachers would always say, and that is, don't sacrifice the painting for the likeness. What that means is ultimately, unless it's a commission, ultimately the likeness should not be the most important factor in your portrait painting. But it does play a role. Definitely does play a role. And it depends on basically your code of ethics when it comes to, you know, likeness. For me, I'm more interested in form, light, composition, and dare I say, video, which is what we're doing here. More important than likeness. But again, likeness plays a role. I look at each one of these shapes and analyze them in terms of their relative position to one another and values. So everything works in comparison to everything else. No one thing here exists in isolation. Now you can work piece by piece. Of course you can, but you still have to make sure that the overall big picture remains intact. Yeah, so I wouldn't go through the extra trouble of, at least in my opinion, of sharpening these. Just learn how to use the edges because they will, if you sharpen a point on one of these, unless it's a pastel pencil, it's going to lose its point right away. When I remember when I said don't be you have to manage your level of perfectionism, but I know that this has to get closer to the nose, but I can't dwell on it being off. I have to move around and focus on the form. This is kind of similar to working from a live model. You don't have forever to work with a live model. And just like I don't have forever to work on this, I've got 3 hours, which isn't a lot of time to make something. Basically something out of nothing. I don't start with a drawing already placed on the paper or anything like that. Yeah, we basically go for it right away. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. It's a challenge. This one is definitely a challenge. Like I said, I think I ranked it at a 8.5 out of 10. 10 being the most difficult. I guess the question would be, what would I rank a 10? The most difficult would probably be doing this in watercolor. That would be a 10 in terms of difficulty. Oh, no worries. I mean, if I could, I would go back as well and spend more time myself, if if I could, but I always gotta move on to another thing. Oh, thanks, Lisa. I gotta say, soft pastel is I feel like I am stronger in soft pastel. Just today I figured out how to cover that texture, which was kind of the main problem before. Much further, faster. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate it. I didn't even notice the time. It's already been the second hour. So time flies. Time flies. But yeah, definitely looser with the pastel. I agree. Dion, what's going on? Thanks for joining, Dion. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able. I hope I can go back tonight, but not sure. I hope I'm not on the TV over there, Dion. That'd be pretty funny. Tito's over there laughing at me. You know what, Dion? I need to paint Tito. I haven't painted Tito or Martha. I appreciate all the comments, everyone. Let me just soften this and then I'll take a break. Stream some ping pong. Wow, cool. I have yet to play on the ping pong table. I don't think I've played ping pong since, whew, I don't even know. Long ago. What's the question? Is it a low deflection ping pong? Is it a carbon fiber ping pong? Or keelwood? Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Let's set that up. I gotta get over to streetlights whenever they're there. Oh, cool. On the live stream. Awesome. All right, everybody, it is that time. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna play the video of my Shiba Inu Hugo, who is the mascot of Streetlights Billiards Academy. He plays pool, and he's gonna have his own jersey soon. That's gonna be awesome. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a break for a couple minutes. I will be back, and we will finish this painting up. So don't go anywhere unless you absolutely have to, and I'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Alrighty then. Let's finish up this pastel painting. Just like last time, we started with the hands. So let's return to the hands. This one's alright. This one needs a little bit more light. And then, of course, there's rings on there, so we're going to have to put the rings. And should be good. Yesterday, I was supposed to paint a lion and wasn't feeling that well. But I did actually do a study of the lion. This is, although you can see the paper kind of messed up a little bit, but this was a watercolor practice of the lion, which we were supposed to do in acrylic. But I'm getting much more comfortable with watercolor these days. Oh, thanks. We'll learn how to pronounce your name properly at some point. Appreciate all the likes, everyone. We're at 43. Might make it to 50. Might make it to 50 tonight. Or today, whatever time it is for you. This is the same model that we painted the first time we did soft pastels, I think. Not sure actually, but we did paint this model before. Well, we painted this model feels like thousands of times on YouTube already, but this pose is significantly more challenging than the first one we chose. So it's a lot of fun to be able to basically level up like a video game. Yeah, many times. Many times. And I still haven't been able to get her back to pose. She's pretty busy. She's got her own online work that she does. She does type theater type stuff. Dion let me know how the Thai food turns out. Rob said he was gonna make some Thai food. Ever since I started eating more spicy food. I haven't really gone to a Thai restaurant and ordered the Thai spicy, but I have been able to eat the peppers and survive it. The Thai chili. Yep, I would agree. Great model. I actually never got the chance. They started molding right away. I should have said something to the company, but they sent me the peppers in a cardboard box. But I did eat a piece of one of them, and man, was it worth it. So I'm not disappointed in that. But they started molding pretty quickly. I didn't get a chance. And I didn't record myself eating it because first of all, I didn't eat a whole pepper. I didn't eat a whole reaper. I just ate like almost like a grain of rice worth of it, size of one. And there's already so many videos of that on the internet. It's definitely just something not worth suffering over. But if you ever get the chance to eat a grain of rice sized piece of Carolina Reaper, make sure that you're okay with, say, half of a habanero because it's hotter than half of a habanero by like a lot. I'm using yellow ochre for the highlights for the hair. If I can get these marks in the right spot, I can make it look like more, basically more detail than I'm putting from a distance. So main takeaway today is that you can press a little more firmly than you think with the soft pastels. And it does cover the texture. I mean, there's still some little traces of it there, but where it counts, like here, it's completely covered. So of all the materials that I do here, watercolor, soft pastel, oil pastel, acrylic, oil paint. If you were to attend a live painting, um, a live painting demonstration from me, say I was painting in a stadium or something like that, or in a just in person, which one would you want to see me do? I'm curious. 'Cause in the future, I will be traveling to do um, these paintings. Which one would you want me to do? You thought I was using oil? No, these are soft. These are the soft. Yeah, they can get confused a little bit. Yeah, this is the soft. So, so if you were to attend a live, in-person painting demonstration from me, which one would you want me to do? Oil, pastel, oil paint, soft pastel, watercolor, acrylic. Next question is, do you know the Muffin Man? So thanks, Giselle or Giselle. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but thank you. But yeah, eventually I'm gonna go on tour. So I'm gonna do these demos. They're more painting shows than they are demos. A demo implies an unfinished educational thing. It's not like I'm gonna be teaching a workshop or anything. I'll be painting, just painting. Yeah, this is the best. Once you get a smooth, look how smooth that is. That's the best thing we can get. Best effect that we can get here. At 44 likes, almost there. Almost to 50. Giselle? Giz Giselle? Gazelle? Giselle. I'll try. Gazelle. Gazelle. I'll try. No worries. I will do my research. Giselle. I'll try. 5 away. 5 likes away from 50. I've come to realize that this is almost like working with a vine charcoal, but with color. I think that's the best analogy I can give. Certainly has a feel of working with vine charcoal, but with color. And starting with more pressure the way we did, I think in the beginning made the surface much better. Of course, this can still be more smooth up here. Put some info in the drapery. A la Nelson Shanks would do that. Meaning Nelson would have probably done that. So Nelson would have done it, then let's do that. Letting that kind of flow into the eyes. Composition is key. And no matter what the material is, this edge is always going to be the most difficult. I dropped the pastel, but good thing I have carpet now. It saved the pastel. So there was no subtle trivia today, but it seems like 46 people liked the stream today. That's good. So hopefully you enjoyed it. We've got about 8 minutes left. These are the last little refinements that we'll do. It was quite a challenge. This one was quite the challenge. But I think we did all right. That pre-Raphaelite kind of look to it. Curious who was here today. You know, Gazelle is here. Dion was here. Randy. Uncle Earl. Who else was here today? Angela, Ellen. I think Grace is out of town. Alder. Mark L was here. Louis Wolf was here. Like I said, this one was definitely a challenge. Ooh, 3 away from 50. 3 away from 50. Well, looks like that is 3 hours. So pretty much worked on it up and right up until the end. No pause. Quite a challenging one this was. And remember in the beginning I said you gotta kind of manage what level of perfectionism you choose. Obviously things like the hands aren't going to be exactly perfect with more priority towards the form of the face. So you gotta pick and choose your battles. And these painting sessions are similar to painting from a live model in the sense that there is time. There's a time constraint, so you have to be very decisive as you work. Now, those of you working at home, take all the time that you need to work on your own paintings, but challenge yourself every once in a while with a timer. It's always a good thing to do. That forces you to think on your feet, basically. I think it makes you better. But anyways, this has been a fun challenge. And this is going to be the point where I'll ask if there are any last minute questions before we sign out. Of course, we're going to sign it before we end the stream. I would ask if there are any, I would type if there are any last minute questions, but I kind of don't want to touch my computer. Of course, I'm going to have to touch the computer anyway to end the stream, but all I got to do is press one button. Okay. We are going to sign this one. I guess we're gonna sign it over here so you can't really see it. I never really liked the signature taking up too much attention anyway. So I'll sign down here. Okay. So there you have it. The pastels? No, I don't wipe off the pastels. But yeah, of course, use clean your fingers. But no, don't wipe the pastel. See how it has some red on it? I wouldn't suggest it. But just let it naturally clean itself as you work on big areas of the painting. They'll clean themselves off. And looks like we made it to 50. Thank you so much for all the likes, everyone. Everyone that attended the stream, asked questions. Thank you all so much. I hope that you enjoyed the soft pastels today. There's definitely a difference between the soft pastel and the oil pastel in terms of I guess the subtleties. So subtleties, it's I guess the upper hand goes to soft pastel. I guess we can, yeah, we could still say texture wise. See how I have to cover this now? Texture wise, I think oil pastel still has the upper hand there with the texture, meaning it's easier to control the texture. But they're pretty good materials to use regardless. As you see, we can get a lot done with these pastels. But yeah, the last little thing I wanted to cover. Yep, thank you so much for all the likes, everyone. So remember, anyone that may be new, the schedule is Tuesday through Friday. Tuesday is watercolor, Wednesday is oil paint, Thursday is acrylic, Friday is pastel. And I guess we may alternate between soft pastel, oil pastel. It all depends on, I don't know, how I feel that day or what we choose to do. But again, thank you so much for joining. I wish you all the very best. Oh, good. I'm glad you painted along with us. Awesome, awesome. Alrighty, so thank you so much for joining, everybody. I wish you all the very best. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.